Imagine being born already rich. Before your first birthday, someone already bought you a Rolex. Before you learned multiplication, someone opened an investment account in your name. Before your first job interview, you already had enough money to never work again. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, not exactly. Because being a rich kid doesn't automatically mean living a perfect life. Some grow up surrounded by private jets but never experience real freedom. Some inherit billions and lose everything before turning 30. Some spend their entire lives trying to escape their family name. Others spend their lives trying to live up to it, and a few quietly become even richer than their parents. Today we're stepping inside a world most people only see on Instagram. 10 completely different types of rich kids. How they grow up, how they think, how they spend their time, what they fear, what they hide, and why having money from birth isn't always the advantage people think it is. By the end of this video, you'll realize that being born rich comes with a completely different set of rules. Welcome to Stickman Explains Money. Let's begin. Type 1, the heir. Every family has traditions. Some families pass down recipes, some pass down photo albums. His family passes down companies. Meet Ethan. Every morning a driver waits outside his house. Not because he can't drive, because that's how things have always been. Breakfast isn't cereal, it's with his parents and sometimes the CEO of one of the family's companies. Business conversations happen before school. Words like acquisition, board meeting, quarterly earnings become normal vocabulary before he's even 16. Most teenagers worry about tomorrow's math test. Ethan worries about one question: will I be good enough to run the family empire? Imagine knowing your future before you're old enough to vote. The university already chosen, the internships already arranged, the first job waiting inside the family company. His life feels like a movie where somebody else already wrote the ending. The strange part, many heirs don't fear failure. They fear disappointing generations of people who built everything before them. For them, wealth isn't freedom, it's responsibility. But not every rich kid grows up inside boardrooms. Some grow up inside movie sets. Type 2, the celebrity kid. Imagine walking into school and everyone already knows your name, not because they know you, because they know your parents. Before she ever created a social media account, millions of people had already seen baby pictures of her online. Paparazzi follow her family. Fans recognize her in airports. She can't go shopping without someone taking a photo. She can't make a mistake without strangers discussing it online. Imagine being 14 years old and becoming tomorrow's headline. Luxury, of course, designer clothes, exclusive vacations, front row seats, private events, but privacy almost non-existent. Every birthday becomes content, every vacation becomes news, every relationship becomes gossip. Most teenagers try to figure out who they are. Celebrity kids often spend years trying to separate who they really are from the image the world already created for them. Some love the spotlight. Others spend their lives running away from it, because fame can sometimes feel louder than freedom. Imagine sitting in a restaurant, halfway through dinner someone interrupts. Can we take a picture? Then another, then another. Eventually the meal becomes a photo session. So far we've met two kids born into wealth. One inherited companies, one inherited fame. But the next rich kid doesn't inherit either. Type 3, the young entrepreneur. While most teenagers spend weekends playing video games, Liam spends his weekends answering customer emails. His first business started in his bedroom: a laptop, a cheap microphone, an idea. At first nobody took him seriously. Teachers thought it was just a hobby, friends laughed, his parents told him to focus on school. Then the first sale happened. Slowly his bedroom turned into an office. Packages filled the hallway, phone calls replaced homework breaks. One day, his business made more money in a month than many adults earn in a year. He doesn't ask, "What job do I want?" He asks, "What problem can I solve?" His friends spend money, he buys software. His friends buy sneakers, he hires freelancers. Success came early, but so did pressure. Employees depend on him, customers expect him, mistakes suddenly become expensive. Growing up fast sounds exciting until you're actually living it. So far we've met the heir, the celebrity kid, and the young entrepreneur. 3 rich kids, 3 completely different lives, but none of them live the most luxurious lifestyle. Because next we're meeting someone whose entire childhood looks like it came straight out of a Hollywood movie. Private islands, supercars before 18, luxury shopping without checking the price. Type 4, the luxury kid. Imagine never asking how much does it cost, because you've never needed to. His closet looks more like a designer store. Every birthday there's another expensive watch, another luxury bag, another pair of sneakers people wait months to buy. Vacations, not once a year, whenever the family feels like leaving. 1 month skiing in Switzerland, the next relaxing in the Maldives, then a weekend in Dubai just because. For Noah, first class isn't luxury, it's normal. Private jets, they're just another way to travel. That's the strange thing about growing up rich. What feels extraordinary to everyone else eventually feels ordinary to you. When luxury becomes normal, gratitude quietly disappears. That's why some rich kids spend their lives chasing even bigger experiences. Humans adapt incredibly fast, even to luxury, and sometimes that's the biggest trap of all. But not every rich kid wants attention. Some spend years making sure nobody even knows they're rich. Type 5, the hidden rich kid. If you walked past Oliver on the street, you'd never notice him. Simple hoodie, old sneakers, backpack, no flashy logos, no expensive jewelry, no bodyguards. His parents taught him one lesson from childhood: money talks, wealth whispers. At school, very few people know where he lives. He takes regular flights, eats at ordinary restaurants, drives an old car even though he could afford almost anything. Because attention has a cost. The more people know, the more expectations appear. The more people ask for favors, the more difficult it becomes to know who genuinely likes you. Oliver would rather have real friends than impressed strangers. Ironically, he often ends up happier than kids surrounded by luxury because he gets to experience something priceless: a normal life. Imagine meeting two classmates. One constantly posts pictures of expensive vacations, the other never talks about money. Years later, you discover the quiet kid's family owns half the buildings in town. Real wealth often hides in plain sight. Some rich kids hide their money, the next type can't hide from expectations. Type 6, the legacy kid. From the outside, Emily has the perfect life, a respected family, a successful business, a famous last name. But every achievement comes with the same sentence: of course she succeeded, look who her parents are. Imagine hearing that your entire life. No matter how hard she studies, people assume everything was handed to her. If she wins, they credit her family. If she fails, they blame her. Some legacy kids spend years trying to prove they deserve the opportunities they've been given. Others give up trying because they know some people will never change their minds. Sometimes the hardest thing isn't becoming successful, it's convincing people you earned it. Let me ask you something. If you could choose, would you rather grow up with unlimited money or complete freedom to create your own path? Take a second, think about it, because after seeing these different lives, the answer isn't as obvious as it first seems. So far, we've met the heir, the celebrity kid, the young entrepreneur, the luxury kid, the hidden rich kid, and the legacy kid. 6 completely different childhoods. But the next one might be the most misunderstood of all. Because this rich kid has everything money can buy, yet spends every day trying to escape the world they were born into. Type 7, or the rebel rich kid. Everyone expected Max to take over the family business. He didn't. Everyone expected him to wear expensive suits. He wore ripped jeans. Everyone expected him to follow the family tradition. He bought a one-way ticket and left. Not because he hated money, because he wanted one thing that money couldn't buy: his own identity. Growing up, every success belonged to the family, every opportunity came with assumptions. You're only here because of your parents. Eventually, he got tired of hearing it. No family connections, no special introductions, no shortcuts. He wanted to fail or succeed on his own. Who am I when nobody knows my last name? Some rebel rich kids eventually return to the family business. Others never do, but almost all of them share one thing: they don't want inherited success. They want earned confidence. Some rich kids run away from privilege. The next type creates an entirely new world online. Type 8, the digital rich kid. Meet Mia. Her office fits inside a backpack. A laptop, a phone, headphones, that's it. She doesn't wait for weekends. She doesn't wait for summer vacations, because her work travels with her. 1 week she's in Tokyo. The next she's working from a cafe in Lisbon, then a beach in Bali. She built her income through the internet. Apps, digital products, content, investments, online businesses. She's part of a generation that doesn't separate life from work in the traditional way. But there's a downside. When your office is everywhere, it can start feeling like it's nowhere. Work follows you, notifications never stop, vacations become working vacations. freedom and responsibility begin to blur together. Still, for millions of young people, this lifestyle represents the future. Not because it's easy, because it offers something previous generations rarely had: the ability to choose. Imagine opening your laptop in an airport, answering 3 emails, making a sale, closing your computer, and earning money before your flight even takes off. We've met the rich kids who inherited businesses, the ones born into fame, the luxury lovers, the quiet millionaires, the rebels, the digital creators. But the final 2 types might surprise you the most. Because one has everything yet constantly feels behind, and the other may become richer than every person we've met so far. Don't answer yet, because the final chapter changes everything. Type 9, the lost rich kid. Imagine never hearing the word no. Every toy you wanted appeared, every trip booked, every problem solved by someone else. Until you realize struggle teaches lessons that comfort never can. Meet Jason. He grew up surrounded by everything except challenges. Whenever school became difficult, a tutor appeared. Whenever life became uncomfortable, someone fixed it. Whenever he failed, the consequences disappeared. Little by little, he stopped believing in himself, not because he lacked talent, because he'd never been forced to discover it. For the first time in his life, he had to make an important decision on his own. And he froze because nobody had ever taught him how. Money had protected him from the very experiences that build confidence. This is one of the biggest misconceptions about wealth. Having every opportunity doesn't automatically prepare you to use them. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones who had to figure things out alone. And sometimes the hardest thing for a rich kid is learning how to stand on their own feet. But not every rich kid lets privilege define them. Some use it as a starting line instead of a finish line. Type 10, the builder. Meet Ava. Yes, she was born into wealth. She had access to great schools, amazing mentors, incredible opportunities. She never denied that. But she also knew something important. None of those advantages guaranteed respect. Respect had to be earned. So instead of asking, "What can my family's money buy?" she asked, "What can I create that didn't exist before?" She started small, a nonprofit, then a startup, then investments in young founders. She wasn't trying to become richer than her parents. She was trying to leave a different kind of legacy. Because to her, wealth wasn't the goal, impact was. Some rich kids inherit assets, others build influence, some inherit comfort, others create purpose. The builders understand one simple truth: being born on third base doesn't mean you've hit a home run, you still have to play the game. Now let's look at all 10 rich kids: the heir, the celebrity kid, the young entrepreneur, the luxury kid, the hidden rich kid, the legacy kid, the rebel, the digital rich kid, the lost rich kid, the builder. At first they seem completely different. Different homes, different schools, different lifestyles, different dreams, but there's one thing they all have in common: none of them chose the family they were born into. What separates them is what they choose to do next. Money can buy options, it cannot buy character. It can open doors, it cannot force you to walk through them. It can make life easier, but it cannot decide what kind of person you'll become. That's still your choice. It's easy to look at wealthy families and think they have everything. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Behind every mansion there's a different story. Behind every luxury car a different childhood. Behind every famous last name a different kind of pressure. The truth is, rich kids aren't all the same. Some become extraordinary, some become entitled, some disappear into comfort, some change the world, and in the end, money only magnifies who you already are. If this video changed the way you think about wealth, then you're going to love what we're building here. At Stickman Explains Money, we don't just talk about money, we explain the people, the psychology, the decisions, and the stories behind it. So if you enjoyed this journey, hit the like button, subscribe to Stickman Explains Money, and turn on notifications. Because every week we explore another side of money that most people never see. And before you leave, ask yourself one final question. If you had been born rich, what kind of rich kid would you have become? Thanks for watching, and remember, your starting point is never your final destination. The choices you make matter far more than the circumstances you inherit. We'll see you in the next video.